Hey guys, it's Zung, and today I'm making some healthy and super satisfying one-pot meals that you can make even on a budget. I'm partnering with Capital One Savor. I'm challenging myself to keep each meal around $4 or less per serving, and thanks to Capital One Savor card for sponsoring this video. I'll share how I even got cash back on all of my groceries, but more on that a little later. So the first recipe I'll make is a Cajun shrimp one-pot pasta. We're spending a little bit more on the protein for this dish, but I'm still keeping it about $4 per serving. So first I'm gonna start with our shrimp. I have a pound of shrimp here that I got on sale. It's already peeled and deveined. If you can't find shrimp on sale, you can always look in the frozen section because I feel like they always have good deals there too. So I'm gonna season it with a little bit of salt, and then I'll add a little bit of Cajun seasoning to this. Give it a good mix. All right, I'll just let it marinate for about 15 minutes and then we're gonna cook it off with our bell peppers. So here I have a pretty wide pot. We're gonna cook everything in here except in sequence. So I'm gonna start by adding a little bit of olive oil and turning the heat on to medium high. Once the oil's hot, I'm gonna add a quarter of my onion in that I've already chopped and let it saute for about 1 to 2 minutes until it's nice and translucent. Then, because I'm using frozen bell peppers here, I'm only gonna use half of the bag. I'm gonna add it to the pot and just cook it off until it's nice and tender. So I really like buying frozen bell peppers because you get a lot of bang for your buck. Not only do you get a beautiful tricolor blend like this, but it's already sliced up for you, and it's just a really easy way to increase your vegetable intake in any dish. Bell peppers also tend to be fairly expensive if you buy single ones. So for the amount that you get in a bag here with 3 different colors, it usually costs that much for one single bell pepper. Then we'll remove it from the pot onto another plate. It just looks so vibrant and beautiful still. Set it aside, and now we work on our shrimp. I'll add a little bit more olive oil, dump in the whole shrimp, a clove of garlic, and just cook it until it's nice and pink, making sure to turn it over every once in a while. It smells so good. Perfectly cooked. Now I'm just gonna transfer everything to the same plate or bowl. Nice, plump, succulent shrimp. All right, so to cook our noodles, I'm gonna start by deglazing the pot with some chicken broth. You can definitely substitute for water to keep the price lower, but I just feel like this adds a lot of flavor. When you start deglazing the pan, just scrape off the bits, and this is gonna give our sauce extra flavor. So once you've deglazed the pot with all of the broth, go ahead and add a whole jar of marinara. I'm just using store brand marinara here because for a Cajun pasta like this, you're adding a lot of different things. It doesn't need to be the best. Now we'll add our garlic, another teaspoon of Cajun seasoning. Let's give it a mix. And then half a bag of our linguine, so about 8 ounces. So we'll let it come to a boil and just make sure the pasta is completely submerged in the sauce so that it'll cook. I'll cover it up with the lid, and it should cook for about 12 to 14 minutes. Halfway through, I'm gonna uncover it, give it a good mix to make sure everything is coated and cooking evenly, and so that the bottom does not burn. If you feel like the noodles have absorbed too much water, you can always add a little bit more. But this looks pretty good to me to let it finish. And this next step is totally optional. I like my Cajun pasta to be kind of creamy, so I love adding that bit of creaminess from cream cheese. So I'm just gonna add half a block here, right on top. We're not gonna mix it yet, we're just gonna let it melt. Just cover it up and let it continue cooking. We'll just give it a good mix. And now I'm gonna add the shrimp and the bell peppers back in, and then we'll just mix it all together. It's easy to start off with a spatula and then just move things around with the tongs. Ooh, this is nice and creamy. Do you hear that? So our pasta is done, but I like to add a little garnish on top. And because Cajun food just goes so well with cilantro, I'm gonna do cilantro instead of parsley. And then I'll finish it off with a squeeze of lime. This will help brighten everything up and bring out the flavor. All right, let's give it a try. Let's try the shrimp. So flavorful. That is some good pasta right there. It's perfectly cooked, al dente, not too mushy at all. I would say this is like one of my favorite one-pot pastas to make at home. So let's break this down real quick with all the ingredients and pricing that I used. As I mentioned before, I use shrimp for this, which tends to be a little bit more expensive, but you can certainly substitute it for chicken, sausage, or just make it completely vegetarian. That will definitely lower the cost. The total cost of the materials used for this was around $17, and because it makes a generous 4 servings, it comes out to about $4 and change per serving. And keep in mind, I always get 2% back on groceries with my Capital One Savor card. These rewards quickly add up and can be used to do more of what you love, like cooking. So this dish is inspired by my favorite Thai takeout dinner, which is a green curry, chicken, and rice one-pot meal. I decided to try cooking everything in one pot, and it's efficient, delicious, and super satisfying. So first we're gonna start by searing off the chicken. A great tip for you guys, if you're on a budget, always try to look for bone-in chicken, whole legs, and you can ask the butcher to cut them into smaller pieces for you like I did. And these usually run about $3 to $4 per pound, which is a lot cheaper than buying chicken breasts or chicken thighs. So to my pot, I have a pretty wide skillet here. I'm gonna heat it up on medium-high and then drizzle some olive oil. I'll add my chicken, season it with some salt and pepper, and then just sear each side for about 3 to 5 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. I'll just go ahead and remove the chicken, transfer it to another plate, and then just wipe off any excess oil. So now we're gonna cook off our vegetables. I'm just using the other half of my onion from the Cajun shrimp pasta, and then I'm gonna use the rest of the frozen bell peppers and half of a zucchini. To the pot that's already hot, we'll add the onions first, saute it for a couple minutes until it's nice and fragrant. Then I'll add my frozen bell peppers, zucchini, and garlic. I'll just cook them all up until they're nice and tender, about 3 to 4 minutes. So while it's still cooking, I'm gonna season it with some green curry paste. I never buy simmer sauces because I feel like they're really expensive for one-time use. Buying a paste like this, then adding coconut milk and water to season everything up, you just get way more uses out of it from one little jar. It's just really concentrated seasoning. I'll add about a tablespoon of this right into the pot, mix it up, and then I'll add some coconut milk, water, and our rice. All the specific measurements will be listed in the description box below. Here I'm using jasmine rice, which is a very fragrant long grain rice, but before adding it in, I always make sure to rinse it under water at least 3 times until it runs clear to get rid of any extra starch. That way, when you cook it as a one pot, it doesn't get mushy. Now just give everything a good mix so that the rice is nice and layered. And then right on top of everything, we're gonna nestle in our chicken so they all cook together. I'm gonna bring it up to a boil and then turn the heat down to a low simmer. Now we'll cover it and let it cook for about 20 minutes. Our Thai chicken and rice green curry smells incredible. The rice looks nice and fluffy, the chicken has cooked through, and cooking it this way, it helped absorb that curry flavor from the bottom up. What I like to do is garnish it with some jalapeno slices, usually on the chicken for people that like spicy food, and then some cilantro, and finally a squeeze of lime to brighten everything up. So while this looks like a pretty hefty meal, like something like this just looks really fancy, but we went with a cheaper cut of meat, and with using leftovers from the other dishes, my total comes out to $13.44, which amounts to $3.36 per serving, which is a total deal. Like, this looks so gourmet. So as I mentioned before, the Capital One Savor card gives you 2% cash back on all your groceries. But on top of that, You also get amazing other rewards like 4% cash back on dining and entertainment and 1% cash back on all other purchases. So you can get money back by buying pots and pans and even this burner that you guys always ask me about. So my Savor card actually offers us other great rewards like 4% cash back on popular streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and Disney Plus through April 30th, 2021. So we can definitely make it a dinner and a movie kind of night and just get cash back while having fun. This coconut curry rice is so flavorful. Coconut rice is already good, but adding that layer of green curry into it is just, oh, delicious. Let's try our chicken. The combination of searing the chicken and then steaming it just makes for a perfectly tender meat. I hope you guys definitely give this recipe a try because it is delicious. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about one pot pastas, and if you guys are trying to stay within a certain budget, let me know how much cost per serving you try to aim for. And if you guys want to learn more about the Capital One Savor card, I will have all the details linked in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!